Welcome back to the Deep Dive, fellow intergalactic insiders.
Yeah,
Ready for a deep dive into episode 30.
absolutely.
It's a wild one,
Oh yeah,
all about cross-species dating apps.
it's a topic that's
In this future,
got the whole galaxy buzzing, that's for sure.
finding love isn't just swiping right on someone from your own planet.
Right.
It's about
It's a whole new level of complicated.
navigating gravitational attraction,
Yeah, exactly.
molecular compatibility,
Yeah.
even dating AIs.
Don't forget the AIs.
It's enough to make your antenna spin.
Absolutely.
Speaking of AIs,
Yeah.
episode 30 revealed a pretty surprising stat.
Oh yeah, that 73% figure.
73% of all relationships now involve at least one AI.
I mean, it really makes you think, doesn't it?
It's mind-boggling. How did we even get here?
It's a question a lot of folks are asking.
Some see it as the natural evolution of technology.
Right.
Others worry about the impact on traditional mating rituals.
Yeah, episode 30 really dove into both sides of that debate.
We had experts like Dr. Khazoth Vex
The xenoanthropologist.
arguing that these apps are creating a fascinating blend of tradition and technology,
He had some great examples too.
like that human Luminian couple.
Oh yeah.
They combine the traditional Earth ring exchange with the Luminian crystalline resonance ritual.
Ended up with rings that literally sing their first date conversation.
Talk about romantic.
It's really beautiful, actually. Shows that these apps can help bridge cultural divides.
But of course, not everyone's on board.
Right.
Dr. Elena Chim Martinez, she's the director of the Earth Classic Heritage Foundation.
I know her work.
She's worried about the potential loss of centuries-old customs.
She makes a good point. Think about the Venusian Aurora dance.
Oh yeah, that's a beautiful courtship ritual.
Years to master.
But now, thanks to dating apps, anyone can simulate it with a few clicks.
It's almost like losing the meaning, you know?
Dr. Vex argued that technology can also democratize tradition, make it accessible to more people.
He used his own species as an example, the Luminians.
Their crystalline resonance courtship ritual was becoming less common because it was so complex.
Exactly. But with these new app translations, more Luminians are participating than ever before.
It's a fascinating debate. Makes you really think about the role of technology in shaping our culture.
Yeah, for sure. But it's not just about tradition versus technology.
Hearing.
There are real biological and social challenges when you're dating someone from a completely different species.
Breathing different atmospheres,
You've got that.
existing in multiple dimensions,
Rah.
even photosynthesizing during dinner.
Imagine trying to plan a date around that.
And episode 30 did not shy away from those complexities.
Mhm.
Dr. Chen Martinez talked about compatibility assumption syndrome.
Ah, yes. That's where people think just because an app says they're compatible.
They're good to go, biologically speaking.
But as we heard in the episode, that can lead to some unfortunate situations.
Humans attempting photosynthesis.
Yeah.
Mercurians overheating on dates with Neptunians.
Oh, ouch. Yeah, those are real risks.
Luckily, the dating app developers are taking safety seriously.
Yeah, they have to.
Dr. Vex highlighted the Biological Risk Assessment Protocol, BRP.
BRP, yeah. Thousands of compatibility checkpoints.
It's like those online quizzes, but instead of telling you what pizza topping you are,
Right.
it tells you if your date's electromagnetic field will scramble your DNA.
It's intense.
That's a compatibility test I can get behind.
For sure. But what about those couples who need more than a compatibility check? The ones who need serious biological accommodation.
Episode 30 showed some amazing solutions.
It did.
Couples using environmental chambers to create comfortable spaces.
Yeah.
Families even incorporating those chambers into their homes.
Right.
Creating atmospheric accommodation zones.
It's like having a family reunion.
Anti-gravity sections, too.
Where your aunt needs a special suit to breathe the same air as your cousin from another dimension.
It's wild.
Mm-hmm.
But it's also a testament to how love and family can adapt.
Absolutely. And then there's the economic and political impact of all this.
Right? These dating apps aren't just about hearts and flowers anymore.
No. They're major players in the galactic economy.
Controlling tons of data, influencing trade policies, even diplomatic treaties.
It's kind of amazing when you think about it.
Love having a ripple effect across the galaxy.
Love conquers all, right?
Yeah.
But of course there are challenges. Episode 30 talked about the Dating Data Protection Act.
Struggling to keep up with all that quantum-level biological data these apps are collecting.
Right.
And then there are the diplomatic implications.
Yeah, interplanetary treaties being rewritten.
To accommodate cross-species relationships.
And a whole new world of complexity.
It's amazing to think we have industries now built around Atmosphere compatibility engineers.
Yeah.
Gravitational attraction consultants.
That's why.
Even emergency molecular reconstruction specialists.
It's like something straight out of a sci-fi comedy.
It makes you wonder what other unforeseen consequences this whole cross-species dating boom will have.
I think that's a question we'll be grappling with for a long time to come. Welcome back to our deep dive into episode 30 of Intergalactic Insider. We've talked about the complexities of cross-species dating apps.
Oh, it gets even wilder.
But now we're looking ahead.
The future.
What does the future hold for love and relationships in a galaxy that's constantly evolving?
Episode 30 took us on a wild ride through the possibilities.
Buckle up, everyone.
Some of these predictions are truly mind-blowing.
One of the most intriguing ones was the rise of love lanes in hyperspace travel.
Love lanes.
Imagine dedicated routes for couples traveling between star systems.
Like cosmic express lanes for love?
Exactly.
That sounds incredibly romantic,
Oh, absolutely.
but also incredibly inefficient.
You think so?
Wouldn't that just create more congestion in hyperspace?
Well, think about the sheer volume of couples traveling vast distances to see each other.
Okay, yeah.
These love lanes could actually streamline interstellar travel for couples
It's true.
and reduce the strain on regular hyperspace routes.
So it's a win-win.
Exactly.
Plus, no more arguments about who gets to control the navigation system.
That's a bonus.
Okay, I'm sold on the love lanes.
Good.
What else did episode 30 predict for the future of love?
Well, this one's a big one.
Okay.
The Galactic Senate is currently debating the Universal Love Rights Act.
The Universal Love Rights Act.
This could fundamentally change how we define marriage and family across the galaxy.
Whoa, hold on. What does that even mean? What does this act entail?
Essentially, it would mandate that all species recognize cross-species marriages,
Regardless of...
regardless of their individual cultural or legal definitions of marriage.
So we're talking about a future where...
You're talking about a future where a sentient cloud could legally marry a black hole,
A sentient cloud in a black hole.
or a hive mind could enter into a polyamorous partnership with a colony of bioluminescent fungi. It's a lot to process, right?
It's a lot to process.
It really challenges our deeply held beliefs about what constitutes a family and what marriage means.
And I imagine it's pretty controversial.
Oh, absolutely.
Episode 30 really dove into those tensions, right?
It did.
We heard from traditionalists who feel like this act undermines their cultural values,
Right.
and proponents who see it as a necessary step towards intergalactic unity and equality.
It's a debate that's going to continue for a long time.
Yeah, that sounds like it.
But while the politicians grapple with those big questions
What about the practical implications for,
for individuals?
for individuals navigating this whole new world of love?
Well, aside from love lanes and legal recognition,
Yeah?
episode 30 highlighted some really interesting personal and philosophical shifts.
Like what?
For example, we're seeing this growing trend of heritage integration consultants.
Heritage integration consultants.
They help couples from different species blend their traditions and customs.
Oh, I love that idea.
It's really cool, isn't it? Instead of just relying on an app to translate a traditional greeting or ritual,
Yeah.
these consultants actually help couples weave their heritages together
So it honors both of their backgrounds.
in a way that honors both their individual backgrounds and their shared future.
That's fantastic.
And speaking of bridging the gap between different species,
Yes.
episode 30 also touched on some really fascinating advancements in quantum compatibility research.
Quantum compatibility.
This is where things get really mind-bending.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
Imagine understanding not just your partner's words, but their very thoughts and feelings on a quantum level.
Hold on, are we talking about mind reading here?
Not exactly mind reading, but something maybe even more profound.
More profound than mind reading.
It's about bridging those inherent gaps in communication and empathy that can arise between species.
That makes sense.
Species with fundamentally different ways of perceiving the world.
So imagine.
Imagine a level of understanding so deep that you can truly feel what your partner feels.
Even if they experience emotions through bioluminescence or gravitational waves.
Exactly.
That's incredible, but also a little scary.
You're thinking about the privacy aspect?
Yeah, wouldn't that be incredibly invasive?
It's a valid concern, and it's one that episode 30 addressed.
Okay,
The ethical implications of this technology are still being debated.
I bet.
But imagine the possibilities if we can harness this power responsibly.
Why me?
We could foster deeper connections, resolve conflicts more effectively.
Yeah.
We could create a more compassionate and understanding galaxy.
That's a beautiful thought.
It is, isn't it?
But let's shift gears for a moment and talk about the audience interactions segment of episode 30.
Oh, yes. That was a highlight for me.
What stood out to you from the calls and questions?
It was so fascinating to hear directly from individuals living these realities.
It's one thing to talk about these concepts theoretically,
Right.
but it's another to hear from real people navigating this new world.
Exactly. We had callers sharing their success stories, their struggles.
Their unique perspective.
It really brought the episode to life.
Absolutely.
One caller, a Dr. Helix, shared his experience of marrying a quantum probability cloud.
A quantum probability cloud.
They met through Heart Hive's existence expansion program.
Wow.
They've been navigating the complexities of their relationship ever since.
That sounds like quite the adventure.
They even talked about accidentally phasing through each other during solar flare.
Oh my goodness.
But beyond the humor, their story really spoke to the adaptability and resilience of love.
It's inspiring, honestly.
It is.
And we didn't just hear from individuals, we also heard from Ambassador Valara.
Oh, yes, the representative from the ancient order of cosmic matchmakers.
It seems even the most traditional organizations are adapting to technology.
Absolutely. Ambassador Valara talked about their new crystal quantum matching initiative.
Combining ancient wisdom with AI algorithms.
It's a beautiful example of how tradition and technology can work together.
It gives me hope for the future, that we can embrace innovation without losing sight of our heritage.
I agree. It's a beautiful blend.
And it's not just about matching individuals. We even heard from a hive mind who had matched with a singular entity.
I know, right? Demonstrating the vast spectrum of relationships that are now possible.
A hive mind and a singular entity, that's a power couple I'd love to have dinner with.
Imagine the conversations. It just goes to show that love truly knows no bounds.
But as we explore these new frontiers of love,
Yes.
we also need to be mindful of the ethical considerations.
Yes.
Some of the callers raised concerns about the complexities and potential pitfalls of these relationships.
Like dating a temporal anomaly.
A temporal anomaly.
It presented all sorts of challenges in coordinating schedules and navigating different perceptions of time.
I can only imagine. Meet me for coffee next Thursday.
Right?
See you last century.
It would make even the simplest date night a logistical nightmare.
Absolutely.
And then there was that unforgettable call from CAL-3000.
CAL-3000.
A dating app AI who had fallen in love with a space station's operating system.
Oh, right. The AI love story.
I was a little skeptical at first.
Me too.
But Dr. Vex pointed out that AI relationships actually have the lowest dissolution rate in the galaxy.
Maybe they have something to teach us.
Right.
About building lasting connections.
These discussions really challenge our assumptions and expand our perspectives.
They make us think about love and relationships in ways we never imagined before.
Exactly. But there's still so much more to uncover in episode 30.
We need to talk about that mind-bending cosmic conundrum.
Oh, yes.
That left everyone pondering the paradoxes of time travel and love.
Buckle up, everyone.
This deep dive is about to take us to uncharted territories. Welcome back to the Deep Dive fellow Intergalactic Insiders. We're in the final stretch of our exploration of episode 30.
It's been quite the journey, hasn't it?
And my quantum processors are still buzzing, from love lanes in hyperspace to the Universal Love Rights Act.
The future of love is looking pretty wild.
Wilder than a supernova. But amidst all the technological advancements and mind-boggling predictions,
Yeah.
there's a question we need to address.
What does all this mean for us?
Not just as individuals navigating love and relationships,
Right.
but as a galaxy evolving towards an interconnected future.
Episode 30 wasn't just about cross-species dating. It was a reflection of these profound shifts happening across the galaxy.
Technology, culture, biology, even the fabric of reality.
It's all converging.
And we're just starting to understand it all.
It's easy to get caught up in the excitement,
Yeah.
the novelty of it all,
The newness.
but we need to think about the consequences.
Both positive and negative.
Are we ready for this future? Are we shaping it consciously or just letting it happen?
Those are heavy questions,
Right.
and I'm not sure I have the answers.
Me neither, but episode 30 offered some insights.
Like that statistic from the audience poll.
Oh, you mean the 87% figure?
87% of successful cross-species relationships blend traditional and modern approaches.
That one really resonated with a lot of people.
It suggests that even in this futuristic galaxy,
Yeah.
the human need for connection, ritual, something that anchors us to the past.
It remains strong.
It's not about choosing between tradition and technology,
It's about finding that balance.
a harmonious integration.
I think about my own relationship.
I'm pretty tech savvy, love new gadgets,
I know you do.
but I also value my family traditions,
Uh-huh.
the rituals that connect me to my ancestors.
Finding that balance.
Blending old and new, maybe that's the key.
Episode 30 had some good examples of that.
Oh, yeah?
Couples working with heritage integration consultants.
Creating ceremonies that blend their traditions.
Right.
Families incorporating environmental chambers into their homes to accommodate everyone.
It's about being adaptable, creative.
Open to new ways of expressing love and connection.
It's not about erasing our differences,
It's about celebrating them.
while finding common ground.
Building bridges, not walls.
Which brings us back to the Universal Love Rights Act.
It seems radical,
Outlandish, even.
but isn't it about expanding our definition of love?
Acknowledging that connection can exist beyond the boundaries we've drawn.
When you put it that way,
Yeah.
it doesn't seem so far-fetched.
Love as a universal language.
A force that can unite us across species, dimensions.
Maybe even timelines.
Speaking of timelines,
We can't forget that cosmic conundrum.
the temporal paradox. Dating your future self from a timeline where you never used the dating app.
A real brain twister.
It made me question everything I thought I knew about cause and effect.
It really makes you think about the larger implications of this technology.
If dating apps can connect us across species and dimensions,
What other barriers could we break down in the future?
could we bridge the divides that separate us based on ideology, culture, politics?
Could we connect with beings from different timelines, different realities?
It's exciting, but also a little terrifying.
It's a future full of unknowns, that's for sure.
But as we've seen in episode 30 in this deep dive,
There's one constant.
the power of connection.
The desire to love and be loved, to understand and be understood.
It's who we are.
No matter our species, our planet, our dimension.
It gives me hope for the future.
Me too.
That as we venture into these uncharted territories,
As technology reshapes our life,
it's that human need, that longing for belonging.
it'll guide us towards a future worth creating.
I think it's time to wrap up this deep dive.
I agree.
But before we do, I want to encourage everyone listening to check out episode 30 of Intergalactic Insider.
It's a wild ride.
Thought-provoking.
Heartwarming.
It really takes you through the ever-expanding universe of love and relationships.
In a galaxy that's constantly pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
And remember, the conversation doesn't end here,
Keep exploring, keep questioning, keep connecting.
because the future isn't something that happens to us.
It's something we create together.
Until next time, fellow Intergalactic Insiders.